All right. Welcome to We Are Something Else, episode 154. The Fly Who Couldn't Fly Straight. And we're here. It's your boy Kaleo. There's E Rich. There's CB. Fellas, what's good with you guys?
It's wild. I felt like we were recently just here, but I guess that's because we had a Friday show last week. So quicker turnaround time, but yeah, work has still been busy, and yeah, I'm ready for the weekend.
Yeah, me too. I'm definitely ready for the weekend. One more day on the schedule. Got some unexpected company that flew in about 2 nights ago, overnight, and trying to get everything together so they leave. And I'm talking about my gout. Talking about this flare up that just happened out of nowhere in the middle of the night. I go to turn over and something says ding 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 ding. Yeah. And the thing is,
I mean, you did name.
I can't trace it. I don't know where it came from.
It came from your fantasy team.
You're right.
Because you named your fantasy team.
That win cost me something. My first win in that league cost me something. We were unstoppable. I actually had to get it to win.
Right.
Put him in the starting lineup. I'm thinking it may have been, but we had the Duck Nacho, right? But I only had one.
Yeah.
Duck is gamey, and that it could, but that showed up quick. But who knows? Whatever. Now I'm just trying to get it to go. It was good, bro.
As you can see, reporting live from the bedroom, the boom room. Not just playing. But
this is where the magic.
I almost got CV on that.
Yo, that would have been bad. That would have been bad. That would have been bad.
Still on the clock, but still powering through. We had a all hands tech meeting this week, so anytime you have everybody in the office, there's always some more work to be kind of passed out for whatever reason for the end of the year. So helping out. I got some overseas things that I'm working on. Dope Purple Rain shirt. That's what that is.
Yeah, I realized I got like 6 of these things. Every time I see one, I gotta have I don't have that one. Let me get it. Okay, now that camera angle looks horrible. Okay.
Like me when I see a pair of Air Max 98s.
Right. No, did you see the? Huh?
Is there a release date for the OGs?
No.
Did you see the story that Nike is talking about stopping people from buying multiple pairs of Pandas? Well, hello. Stop releasing them shits. That's how you stop people from buying multiple pairs. Anyways,
Or, I mean, you just release enough all at one time instead of doing the multiple drops.
right. I feel like at this point, I think we had this conversation. Everybody should own a pair except me because I still don't have a pair.
I
You
don't.
didn't get a pair? I thought you scored a pair.
Nah.
Damn.
No.
I mean, I was the most recent one on the team, so you know,
Right.
it
There was a lot of
only
wins. There was a lot of wins in this team. People got some good heat last couple of days. Damn. All right. So with all that said, we got a couple of things to get to tonight, and I don't know. So this area has been yearning and praying and hoping for something to happen, right? I don't think anybody has ever wanted anything more than what's happening in this area right now. And I think CB was leading the troops. CB was leading the troops in this one. And we're still all hoping that this isn't Groundhog Day or April Fool's Day. But the report did come out that there is going to be a yard sale in DC. And it was reported that Dan Snyder, the Snyders, because I believe the wife is part owner, have acquired the services of Bank of America, whatever the full title is.
securities.
Securities, there it is. Bank of America Securities, to initiate the sale of the Washington Commanders. Now, we don't know if the original speculation was we didn't know if this was going to be for part ownership. You know, they were looking for some minority owners. If he was looking to sell the majority and keep some of the, keep the minority shares, or just sell the whole team in general. And Snyder's been adamant about not selling the team, not changing the name. And every time he says not, typically the other thing is happening, right? So, yeah. Before we even dive in any deeper than that, let's just talk about the news of what's happening right here. This is headline news. The radios are talking about it, news stations are talking about it, social media. How are you feeling right now, CB, with just the speculation or just this part of the process that's been initiated?
It's interesting times because it's a lot of fluff over the years, right? Like this isn't the first time stories like this have come out. The difference now is that there actually is a bank or a firm attached to looking into these transactions as they phrase them. I was talking with my boy Gio, who was on one of the very original episodes of We Are Something Else.
Weren't even on camera then.
No, it was just audio. But me and him were chatting it up earlier, and we were joking that he said that if the sale of the team went through, the stadium would be like Project X, like people would be going crazy. And then I made the joke that it would be essentially the same reaction as if the team won the Super Bowl. Like, how can we're literally talking about a dude that took a beloved franchise of an entire region and has driven it into the ground. So,
flushed it right down the toilet.
We got receipts. We got me on camera going on multiple rants talking about this angry little man. And, it just kind of seems like maybe they're giving me some hope. But honestly, if I had to bet in, probably a few weeks' time, even though there's upwards of 5 allegations and all that going on, that in a few weeks we're just gonna be playing that that clip of damn like he's still gonna be there, you know what I mean? So one of the things that Michael Smith said on the lead up to the game tonight, when he was talking about it, he was saying that some of the speculation is Snyder's trying to find the right minority owner to help boost his
popularity,
or whatever. Bro, that's not happening. There's nothing you can do. Like if it's that whole old adage, if you love something, you got to let it go. If this dude is as much of a fan as the team as he claimed to be when he bought it, this dude would let that shit go. It's very self-serving, him staying in there and just running this franchise into the ground.
Yeah, so I'll get to you in a second, E. I'll bring up some more, and we'll jump to you. So, yes, we were all wondering in our chat why now. Like, he'd been so adamant about not doing it, and then late last night, the Schefter report came out, or Schefter put out the thing saying that the feds were getting ready to get involved in a misappropriation of funds within the team. Something has happened. So typically, when you have private firms and all this doing investigations and stuff like that, you can kind of maneuver your way, through it enough and just hold things up in court so it doesn't necessarily make, come up, anything comes of it. But typically when the feds start to get involved, you're going to have a long road ahead of you. So this is one of the speculations on why, it's time for him to sell, or time to do something with the team, because something bigger is coming down the pipeline. Now, the team currently is valued at $3 billion, perhaps around the $3 billion money range, but it is most likely going to sell between the $5 to $7 billion range, which is crazy. One of the most, I'm assuming, is going off of the storied franchise history, the type of team it is. It may be location for it to go up another $2 to $3 billion in sales. Plus, I guess with the recent sale of the Broncos, they got way more than their value of, for that. So, all right, E, how you feel about this? You've been in the DMV for, you were here for a while. Maybe not your team, but we all know we've had these stories about Snyder before. Thoughts?
So my initial thought was, well, let me go ahead and put this out there just to make it seem like I was the first to break this news to CB super late last night on the wire. Just let you know, I'm still tapped in. Call me the Stephen A of the We Are Something Else podcast. I got it on the Woj. No, so to be honest with you, even after that, because like you said, the way that the news came out was they're hiring the Bank of America securities first, and then it was like the feds was like on their ass, right? I still think, and this is just my thought process, I think he's doing it to get what they call, and y'all know this, working in the sector that y'all work in. I think he's trying to figure out the actual value of the team by saying I will put it for sale, or to see like what it is. It's either that I'll sell it all, how much if I only do this much and I remain a minority, because then it's like I can get off these charges if I sell the team, do X, Y, and Z. Like he's like this is him figuring out how much money he's about to lose and cutting the deal to not go to jail. Call it the Miles Bridges deal, which that just came down. You wholeheartedly everything, and you get probation. You probably won't play in the league anymore, which is even that, which is worse. But it's what happens, right? The money aspect of it, for the most part, I think is going to play the part in this. And let's just be honest, like you said, the feds get involved, but I don't think it's on the criminal side. I think on the financial side of this, somehow this is where this is going to start leaning towards, where we're not going to be talking about the other allegations that clearly have been on the paper forever and a day, right? That it's going to be the money side of the house that we're going to be like focusing. Well, that's going to be focused on in the news to say, well, you had to do X, Y, and Z, and this was this. So I think that's just kind of where we're leading to. Let's just call it what it is. Like everybody's wanted him out for a very long time. And you look at it and you have to say, like, it's above this one person or family when it hurts a region and the loyalty that they have. And like I said, it's a big deal out there. Not to say that there's other organizations that don't have that, but let's just, let's call it what it is, right? Like that area needed this team in so many different levels of what was going on at the time, right? You just had to do it. So, but
yeah. mean,
I think it's a money thing. I truly think at the end of the day, it really is going to pull on just the money.
right. I mean, I'm like CB. CB had put in the chat. I won't believe it till I see it. It's actually the keys have been handed over, right? Because there's a lot of play on this. A fishing tactic, yeah. I mean, who knows? Who knows the real motivation? We can say it's all the speculation. Is that it's just kind of ironic that Schefter reported on the feds getting involved the same day that he had acquired the services of the Bank of America. Now, there's been some interest in who's going to buy the team, if this is actually for entire team purchase, who is it going to be? And so we saw Bezos' name always kind of stays afloat when purchasing something. Obviously he's got a lot of money. I did see Hove's name. I know Jay had been trying to get ownership in something for a while now. Byron Allen is back in there. His name is probably going to always stay around because he's got money to do it. And I did see, or I heard perhaps maybe Leontis. But the thing is, Leontis is tied up with, apparently, from what I read, Leontis is tied up with perhaps the purchase of the Nats. But the Nats value, they're not really getting offered the value. The learners aren't getting offered the value of what they feel the Nats are worth. So they may pull out of trying to sell the team. But if you're Leontis, I mean, he's not known to be. I mean, the Caps did bring home a championship, and then you have the Wizards, who kind of Leontis is known for keeping big names around. He keeps his big players here. He has marquee players on all his teams. OV's been here. He had Wall for a while. Bill stayed, so that could be a draw. And plus, I think also whoever gets in, I mean, it's obviously gonna be a vote in, right? The other owners have to vote who they want in. And so most of the time, doesn't always go to the highest bid. We saw that in Denver; it didn't go to the highest bid. So I mean, it's all about who they want to play the game with, right? So
it'd be dope if Jay and the Weather Dude tag team the ownership of that. Hove being already within the board of the NFL the way that he is, I feel like that would kind of help creep in that other side of the house, right? Like, but then, there's always that play, they ain't gonna let us in every door.
Right. I mean, if they're smart with everything that's happening, you kind of want to put a minority in there somewhere. I mean, we know from our end how it would look, but I don't know. We know what kind of club that is. It's all a matter about who they're going to play ball with. Now, I did hear that perhaps the new owner is going to have to come in and make their stamp, right? So we know two things need to happen with the Commanders. One, they need a stadium deal. Dan cannot no one is playing ball with Dan anymore about getting a stadium built. He is still at FedEx Field in Landover, where the stadium is falling apart. He is probably one of the only ones that have not put in play like a high-powered tech stadium or any kind of buildup of the area around it. And so the one thing that he has going for him, FedEx Field wasn't his baby. That was Jack Kent Cooke. But the area was supposed to also be built up around FedEx Field. It was supposed to do everything around that area. And I mean, we know how hard it is to get out there, and it's just
Real quick though, didn't they do some renovation? And I'm only saying renovations, right? Wasn't the renovations done about 5 years ago? I want to say they were. I remember they extended an area or something. So in the stadium,
he's done a couple things. He added a bunch of seats when under his ownership, but then he also took out a bunch of seats under his ownership.
They kind of built up or something.
Yeah, then they kind of built up. I think he put some money into it, but not as much as he should have compared to how much the team is worth and how much revenue he is. If anything, they're saying right now hey Dan, what's up, man? They're saying that he's kind of underwater with a lot of things because ticket sales are down, and I guess that people aren't coming out there. The only time the stadium is packed is when you have the big team, when Dallas comes in, Philly comes in, a Tom Brady plays. So whoever comes in is going to have to be able to get a stadium, and they're saying most likely pay out of pocket for the stadium. So, and perhaps we could see another name change. We all know how bad the Commander's name went over around here. Especially CB knows how bad it was. But yeah, the rollout was bad. It wasn't a secret. Everybody kind of knew. And that wasn't even the most popular name that the people had voted on. I think everybody wanted Red Wolves. He went with Commanders. So everything that people wanted, Dan didn't do. So we could perhaps see another name change. And they're saying that this is the fourth name the team would have in 5 years.
Okay, let me ask you this. I know we got to transition.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Is it too far gone?
What's that?
Is it too far gone for somebody to take this on? Like, it's one thing to say, I want to be like, I'll buy your team, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what we've talked about and how many years it's been and how like what you just detailed alone, they would have to pay for the stadium because the fan, they're not going to be able to play the, all right, the fans, y'all, I'm going to raise these taxes so y'all can build the stadium. They're not going for that, right? Hell, I mean, at this rate, if you look at it, like you said, the Capitals, the Nats, hell, even the DC, is it still DC United?
Yep, DC United.
Like, what are we talking about? So my question is it too far gone for somebody to come in there and have to really change more than a culture? You have to change. You have to go into it like it's a brand new. You almost have to go into it like an expansion team, like brand new city, and we have to start from ground zero. My question is though, because you have loyalists right within the team, you can't really go like, are they going to be too much to be like, if it doesn't go back to what it was before Snyder, how does that play a part in it? Because I think that's going to be that's going to hang over, I think, more of the loyalists' heads. Who are we getting to come in? Because we've seen other locations get this before, and like Jacksonville, let's just call it what it is. Jacksonville got an owner, but he is not an NFL owner to the extent of he's done things that makes the city and make the team better. He just did it for, I got the money. I can just I can show you that I can still keep my pockets full, but they haven't really made any waves to say, what did we gain in the owner over the city? You know what I mean? Because I think you have to win the city over.
Right, exactly. So I think it's kind of like bringing in a new coach, right? Everybody's got to make their stamp on, this is my team, right? You know, typically a new coach comes in, first thing they do, they go out and get a quarterback, right? This is the quarterback under my regime. This is my era. So with the owner, I think you're gonna have to come in and you're gonna have to know what the people. You're gonna have to take a poll or look at the pulse to get a feel of what the people around here want. Now, there's two things: stadium deal. Stadium deal is probably the biggest thing because this is gonna be your legacy. Dan couldn't get a stadium under his legacy, just like presidents. Certain presidents can't get bills passed under their legacy. Certain presidents put Supreme Court justices under their tenure, and that's their legacy, right? Dan couldn't get anything done. So, and I think people are willing to play ball with people who are actually personable and likable. I think Dan was just a dick all the way around, and nobody wants to do business with him, and he's arrogant. So you get a Bezos or a Leonsis. Leonsis is already established, right? He probably has the capital. He probably has the connections already. People are going to give Bezos for sure, Leonsis for sure, a deal. You know, they'll give him something. So I think that's the first thing that has to be done. You have to go in and lock in a stadium deal and or change the name. CBU, I don't know if you saw that part where there was one of the top things that a new owner could do is stadium and change the name. Actually, change the name to something people voted for.
Yeah, so that'd be a start.
But I think whoever they get in there are going to play ball with. Nobody wants to play ball with Snyder.
That was one of the things that Michael Smith was talking about, how as long as Snyder stays on, they're not going to get a stadium deal. So,
and that's apparent because the talks was for almost 6 to 8 months straight. We heard, you know, where's oh, you know, it's all Danny's choice. Where are we going? Are we going to get DC? You know, they sold their pitch. Hogan gave his pitch. Then actually, I think Hogan pulled back out. Was like, no. But then he had the layout in Virginia, and then whatever happened, I can't remember the full details what happened in Virginia, but Virginia pulled out. He can't get anything. Nobody wants to play ball with Danny. So we'll see. We're at the very beginning stages of this, but a change may be coming. So, speaking of change, there seriously has to be something done, right? So, first of all, rest in peace to Takeoff and his family. For those who don't know, rapper Takeoff, a third of the Migos, was killed a couple of nights ago, right? Early in the morning, 2:30 in the morning in Houston. So it's one of those things where we are the media now, right? We report before TMZ half the time now because TMZ is typically first, but with the click of a button, a camera, if we're there, we report first. So there was a Quavo and Takeoff were in Houston. I think it was Jazz Prince's birthday at a celebration at a billiards and bowling alley, or whatever. And 2:30 in the morning, they were outside of the place in a dice game, and Quavo seemed to have, gotten into a heated discussion with somebody there. We don't know who. But then after that, gunshots ensued. And there have been some reports that, Takeoff got hit by a friendly fire, somebody from their side. It was a stray. And he was hit twice. They said multiple times. But he was hit enough to take him down, and they pronounced him on the scene. So, under 30, I think he was 27, maybe 28. He was the lesser known of the three, but he was definitely coming into his own. If you're a fan of the Migos, he definitely had some verses. He had some bars there. But it's just sad. Like, guns seem to be the first response in everything. Guns and then cameras. So, what do you guys feel about this? What thoughts?
I think clearly it's a sad loss, and I also think it's in one of those situations that when you hear about somebody else having an argument and it's somebody else that gets hit for it, it's always one of those things. So I think outside of losing somebody in that, right, then you have to deal with that part of it. The fact that if I had a beef, I was squabbling with somebody, and somebody else gets hit, not only do I have to suffer the loss, but I have to suffer the loss knowing that it was because of my back and forth with this said person. The other part to that is it's just like, don't live that life. But like I said, maybe we grew up in different times that if you couldn't box, like if your hands couldn't talk for you, you was already a clown. Like the first thing you had to do is pull a gun, and we really see how big you are as a person. Like it's, and I just think that
our access was down too. We didn't have access to weapons like that.
I can't say that out here because I can definitely tell you that by before middle school, I had seen my fair share of dead bodies and guns. So, and definitely friends that were my age and even a little bit older that was getting put in the ground because of it. I think more so what it is, like I said, I think in the sense of it all is just that the fact of the matter is that is your first notion. You think already less of yourself, and you also think highly of yourself to say that my 15-second reaction is enough to take away families' lives, right? Mine, the person, if I decide. And I think even somebody said, I forgot who it was, that said, anybody that can shoot with their eyes closed and not care what the repercussions are is like, if you're a trained shooter, You know what I mean? If you really out there and you really want to carry a gun, so many people, like, none of these people that usually get hit are the actual targets. Let's just put that out there as well. So it's sad. It's nothing that, you know, to kind of gloss over. I like Takeoff more than both of them, and I think the reason why is because I think that I saw him as like the curator, almost kind of like the dude that was like that put all the songs together. He seemed like he was the more musically inclined, whereas Quavo and Offset were more of they can rap, but he was just like the producer. He was the one that can put it together.
Mhm.
And he's quiet, so, you know, for me that was like a dude that can be that quiet and humble and still be a part of a group that I'm not tripping that they get the more acclaim of fame. Like, it is what it is. And let's just be honest, they put a stamp on the game. They for sure put a stamp on this game.
Yeah. CB.
Yeah, because I think you said he was 28. I think that's right. And they popped off. Well, Versace was 2013. So this dude saw the beginnings of superstardom when he was still, you know, he wasn't even 20 yet. So I think it hurts that much more knowing that all those guys are like actual family. Like Quavo was his uncle. You know, so I can't even fathom what is on his conscience right now, you know, because it's deeper than just music when it comes to that. So it's definitely sad. It's awful that it's just so normal to wake up, see the timeline popping off because someone passed away or was murdered, you know, life ended too short. You know, it's awful. And it just always seems like, you know, it's just always senseless. Like there's never any sense behind these kinds of things. So
Right.
there's nothing else, you know, for someone like me to do. It's hard to just sit here and be like, oh yeah, thoughts and prayers, because, you know, there just seems
That's just the norm now.
right. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be very interested to see if any more information comes out at all. But I mean, it was pretty sickening seeing some of the stuff that was on the timeline.
Man,
You know, right
people
away.
have no filter about posting videos, and you know, just it just shows you where the world is right now. Like, there is no filter on the world. There's nothing like people are exposed to everything at an early age. Now, people's kids, you know, on Twitter, you know, have access to all of this stuff. And, you know, it's definitely sad that, again, under 30, so much more to, you know, to do. And like you know, personality wise, for most people say, is he kept to himself, quiet guy, great guy, and he was just
He
he
just
got him
dropped a video. Like he dropped a video.
because they got that album out, right? Him and
Yeah,
Quavo have that
yeah,
album.
Unkin Few or whatever. It's like,
Yeah,
dude, it's just awful, man.
yeah.
And I think it was Halloween night, like, and it was one of those things where like they you know, they weren't at a holiday party or a Halloween party, you know, they were at a birthday party like you were saying, and
Mhm.
you know, it's just awful.
Yeah, man. Just, you know, take care. You know, take care of your folks. Tell everybody you love them when you can. You never know.
Right, definitely.
As we transition, I'm not gonna give you no crazy transition thing here. Look, this weekend, if you got nothing else to do, you get hungry, you need to eat. Use the WRC 10 promo code for the DC Shop High.
Not if you got the gout, though.
I mean, you know,
Might be the cure for the gout. You
it
never know.
might be the cure. I think the cure
It might
for,
be the
for
bread
gout,
pudding, honestly.
the
bread
cure for the
pudding might-
gout is in the bread pudding or the pizza or, you know, the wharf.
We're gonna have
There's
to
something
talk
good in there. Look, I never got gout eating DC Shop High. I'm gonna tell you that. Typically, like the last 2 times I got it is when I've cut out carbs. When I've drastically cut out carbs, that's when I got it.
It's very interesting.
But no. I
Very.
don't know. Alrighty. Another week. Is it just me?
This one definitely is probably, it should piss some people off. And I don't care. I'm holding court. I'm gonna stand on my square with this one. It's getting ready to be the holiday time. You know, as soon as Halloween is over, it's automatically Christmas for most people. So let's just dive into it, right? But you know, it's always that situation of certain gifts. And I noticed there was, as a young dude, there was always a certain item that was I guess I feel like it was more, probably it was appreciated by others more than it was me. I didn't really get into it. I really did, wear things, whether it was chains, I wasn't really into the rings, maybe a bracelet or two just to show it off, But Is It Just E this week is that I'm just gonna say the Movado watch is probably the worst watch that I've ever seen. I would wear a G-Shock before I would wear a Movado. I would wear a fucking Casio before I would wear a Movado. It's trash. It's plain. There's nothing to it, and I get that that's probably the appeal to everybody or whoever likes this watch. But there was a wave, I remember, at some point in time, maybe from whatever year to whatever year, and it was like Movados was like the thing for guys, and I just thought that they were the worst watch possible. You know what? I thought it was like what was the I felt like dudes that went to like the poetry lounge wore Movados, right? Because it was like an all black watch and it had the one little diamond, like just enough. Like, I'm not flashy, but I got a stone in here that's probably like, an eighth of whatever it is. But yeah, Is It Just E? And like I said, I fuck off anybody who doesn't believe me that this is the worst watch that you could have had. Cats who wore Movados also wore Cool Water in 2000.
Cool.
Kaleo, I'm gonna need you to go first on this.
CK1.
I gotta
go down the list.
I gotta go grab some stuff.
That's definitely next.
All right, so
this CB's about to go grab his Movado. He's got a whole collection of them. I know it. Damn it,
you struck a nerve. You struck a nerve. Let me tell you. I was before digital watches that that connect to your phone now and you can change the faces and all that. I still am a huge watch guy. Don't buy them as often just because if I'm gonna have a digital watch that connects to my phone, that's also a pedometer, tracks my steps, it has taken away from my love of collecting watches, which is kind of sad because I love watches. But at one point in my life, I'm assuming I may have had a Movado, even if it wasn't a real one. It may have been bought off of, the street.
Movado.
Yeah, bought off the corner in New York or something like that. I remember it was at one point in time where these things were popular. It's never been high on my list, just because that's typically not the kind of watch that I'm into. Just that style of design, like I said, G-Shock all day. Hell, I had the Dick Tracy watch. I had the watch that was a remote control that turned the TVs. I got in trouble in 7th grade for turning the TV on in math class. Quintapo had one of those watches too. But yeah, surfer watches. I had the Neff watches. Me and CB were talking about watches the other day. The next one, if I buy one that's not digital, it's gonna be a Nixon. I want a Nixon watch. So Yeah, Movado's never been high on my list. I may have had, a fake one, but yeah, nah.
Get you a good Invicta. Like a good solid
Invicta.
watch.
That's the other one I have. Yeah, and I got a couple
No.
Invictas.
A good solid watch.
Invictas are like WWE title belts. Them things are huge.
For sure. Go ahead,
All right,
CB.
That's the thing is for me, I like, having to throw my watch over my shoulder, walk into the room, let everyone know who, the champ is here. Like that's the Movado watch. That's just, it's not my style personally. I like shit like this. I bought 2 watches recently.
Yep.
This is an original grain. They're known for combining wood with the metal. And what's dope about this is I think it's Jamaica, but they use the same wood that Taylor Guitars uses in their guitars. That shit is cool to me. So, the box, legit.
Presentation. Yes.
Bro, look at that. It comes with a guitar pick. Like, I don't know. Movado, they might do stuff like that, maybe. But for me, that's not the look that I'm going for.
There's Invicta.
Yeah.
There it is.
And I got like 4 Invicta watches. I love those joints too.
Oh, wait a minute.
I got one that is so big that whenever I wear it out, people are like, "Yo, are you a Power Ranger? What is that shit?"
My cat's my favorite watch, but the Movado is about the movement.
That movie was garbage.
It's always safe choice. Someone entering the market.
The Movado movement was high quality garbage. Those were cats who was wearing turtlenecks and fanny packs like The Rock with the Acid Watch jeans, who wore Movados. Let me tell you that right now. That's what that was.
That completes the look.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
They were hot for a while. It's just like those Oakley wraparound shades that were hot for a second.
Yeah.
Where are we at? Oh, we're right here. All right, CB. What we got for that copper drop?
All right, so interested to see your guys' take on these, but these are dropping on the 8th. These are the Nike Dunk Low and LeBron Fruity Pebbles. So you got the LeBron branding on the back. Fruity Pebbles is his favorite cereal. If you are familiar with the LeBron shoes, you know that he generally will do a Fruity Pebble version. Things like that. So these, because of the color palette, these give me Stewie vibes, which are one of the greatest dunks of all time, in my opinion. And I think these are cool. These are dope. They're going to be $120. We reported on this earlier in the year. Price of dunks went up. Used to be $100. These are going for $120. And I don't think it's just because this is a LeBron connection or anything. A bunch of other dunks recently have been going for this price. So this might just be the new normal. But yeah, you can do the sneakers draw on the 8th, $120. And for me, these are a cop. I'm going to be going after them. What do y'all think?
Cop.
Nah, can't do it. And here's the reason why. I'm gonna keep it sweet. All the other Fruity Pebble was from a signature shoe, though.
Right.
Yep.
So why throw it on the we've had the conversation with the dunks. Why then saturate the fucking dunks again with this, right? Because had it been and here's my thing, had it been the signature shoe that he has out now, I for sure would have copped it, because that silhouette with that shoe,
it could be coming.
Well, not now, because they've never doubled up on it. So my thing is, and I understand, am I correct? This one he has out now is his what number? Is it 20?
20.
20. How do you not have if you will call a big number? Why would you not do the Fruity Pebble 20, knowing that low top alone is already a dope silhouette, and the colors that he's already shown, it's gonna look good with that bright color anyway. But
I'm imagining you getting the South Beach with these 20s though, since that's probably the
They got some
The
classic
main colorways.
colorways. They got some classic colorways in the LeBron.
yeah. The
bag that they
20s
can
have
pull.
grown on me because at first they were like, yeah, okay, but yeah, nah, they got a high price point though.
They
They're the
apparently are good to
twos.
hooping.
Yeah, I mean, and Bronny and Bryce are like the faces of the 20s.
I mean, those name and likeness deals. Shout out to Bronny.
Exactly.
Getting Nike checks already.
Right, and he got an NIL deal too.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
With
Yeah.
Beats. Oh yeah. No, name. Oh, you're right.
Oh, but one with Beats. One with Beats.
But Beats. That's what I meant. Yeah, Beats. All right. Shoe and tell. I'll go first because I don't have nothing serious to show tonight. But it's all about the collection, right? What's in the collection? What haven't you worn? What do you like to wear? And so these are inspired by my current situation. Yeah. Now, got the classic Nike brown box because the one thing I want to think about when I have gout is comfort, right? And I was having a conversation today is that, you know what, I found that there is not a gout shoe. You should have a gout shoe. Like the Yeezys are comfortable to wear when you have gout because of the expanding kind of toe box or whatever, and doesn't necessarily sit or put pressure on any part of your joints. But I went to comfort level, and one of the most comfortable shoes that I own, or in general, is the Huarache. So this is green right here. This is just the green is throwing off. But these are the Huarache. When they came out with, well, they all basketball shoes, but the team Huaraches, cool gray, and this is like the Volt green. This is another reason why I got them. I had these for a while, but yeah, the only thing they bent up in the box. But anyways, very comfortable. You'll probably be seeing these on feet at work sooner than later. But yeah, the Huarache basketball shoe still in good shape too. One of the most comfortable shoes I have in the collection. All right, let's see.
All right. So I don't remember if I've shown these yet or if I did, whatever.
This is the
But
issue,
I wore them.
yeah.
I wore them for the first time this past weekend because we preach wearing your shoes. And I thought these were dope. So here's the box.
Oh, righty.
You can see
Yep.
the monogram in there, right?
Yep.
yeah, we can.
Came with all of this lovely stuff, all these different laces,
Jeez.
and these like replaceable Nike
Yep.
checks. Because we're talking about the social status penny ones, and you can already tell I swapped the laces out. These are not the laces that came on the shoe. I swapped the check out. But yeah, man, the penny one is a classic shoe, and social status, they did their thing with these. So these aren't difficult to get. Like you can get them on StockX and GOAT and any of those resale sites for a good price. But the materials, the details, these joints are dope, man. So and the fact that you can swap out just like the little details there just makes it
Yep.
that much doper because you can personalize it. So this is what we
Nice.
got.
Nice.
Well, in the spirit of wearing your shoes and bringing up some old ones, I got an old classic here that I definitely put on today with this old classic Nike Just Do It outfit. Bam!
Ooh.
hit you with the suede fives. The black suede
Fire.
fives had to do it. Like I said, the Nike Airs, which again had to hit with the old one. Kind of felt like I was back in the 90s real quick with the same color, and then had to throw on the certain shoes that definitely set you aside. But everybody knows how the fives are, and you can definitely tell that I wear mine for sure.
Fire.
Yep.
Have multiple pair, but when they came out with the all black suede ones, I had to definitely cop one. So these are the ones.
Those are classic. Dope. All right. Well, look, another successful show. Me or something else. Thank you everybody for watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Everybody have a great
Please.
weekend. Football game is on. Real quick, if you haven't listened to the West Side Gun Hermes 10, that's actually pretty dope. I put something in our chat or a couple about a day or so ago, and I don't know if y'all are in the Big Jaw, but the Lesbian Homie season 2.
Oh, well, you know that's out in the backyard. So
Yeah,
you know,
oh, that's dope. Like I'm ready to move to Cali and get one of this dude's videos. It's funny as shit. Funny as hell. And then so I don't know if y'all have ever seen that. Season 1 was dope. Season 2 was dope. Tell the budget is kicked in because the cameras are just it's like a full-on movie. And then season 3, if there's a season 3, the way season 2 ends, season 3 is gonna be that much better. So but look, that's it. We got something else.
Peace.
Peace.